welcome back to Summon Tesla. How you guys doing? I hope you're doing good. Today I am going to be talking about the Model Y and the Model X, which one you should get. Now this is a question that has popped up. I kind of expected it due to the fact that I've been through this before when people were asking me about the Model 3 and of course the Model S. Now when it comes to the Model X and the Model Y, it's a very similar circumstance, a very similar situation. And I think there isn't a lot to talk about, but there is enough that it's worth for me to make a video on this. So let's get a little bit into it and see what we come up with. First and foremost, I'm not going to be talking pretty much at all about the price. The fact of the matter is, one cost one price, the other cost the other price. If you're looking at both as an option, it obviously means you're looking at your budget. More than likely you can cover either or. So, most of the time when people are asking me, should I get this car or should I get this car? For me, it doesn't make sense to start telling you guys, well, depending on the price. Well, obviously, you know the price, you know what you're comfortable with paying, and you're obviously considering the Model X or the Model Y. So let's get into it. Let me talk a little bit about the Model Y. I think the Model Y itself is by far a better option as an overall vehicle. And that's just me coming out right now and telling you that. I don't want to blow smoke up anybody's behind. I think the Model Y is just a better vehicle as an overall vehicle for people who are looking for, I guess, more of a storage space. So something that they can really carry, especially cargo. 1,919 liters of cargo space is a heck of a lot. Now for the range, I believe it's around 509 kilometers compared to the Model X, which is 564. Now Model X obviously has more range, but that's, and if so buts, right? So what you're looking at for a lot of people, what they're asking me with regards to the Model Y is, does it make sense? Should I get the Model Y? If I'm looking at the Model X already, should I switch over to getting the Model Y? And I kind of go back to saying the same thing consistently, and that is, what is the purpose of you having this vehicle? Is it just because you want an electric vehicle? In which case you have tons of options, obviously. But if you're really looking at the question being, there's the Model X and then there's the Model Y, is there a big enough difference between the two? The answer is absolutely. There's huge differences between the two cars. So let's start with the Model Y first. The Model Y right now has a gorgeous, obviously front to back roof made out of glass. And I can tell you from my Model S, I have the same thing in the Model S. I absolutely love it. Having that beautiful, beautiful open space, if you have passengers, if you have your family with them, anybody in the back seat is really taking full advantage of it. The front seat driver and the passenger are not as open to it, obviously, because you do have a little bulkhead, I guess you want to call it. So it really comes in effect for the backseat passenger. Now, of course, there's the other aspect of this, which is the simplicity. Just like with the Model 3, obviously the Model 3 and the Model Y have a lot in common. Just like with the Model 3, the simplicity. You have a single screen and it controls everything. If you're looking at your basically console, if you will, you literally are just looking at one screen, nothing in front of you, updated ventilation system. It is really a vehicle that ultimately, I believe when people are saying this is going to be Tesla's #1 selling vehicle, you have to remember that the Model X is more of a premium. Same with the Model S and the Model X. They're both like on a premium side. You pay more, you don't necessarily get more. It's just they are they're vastly different. They are built as premium vehicles, right? Whereas the Model Y and the Model 3 are kind of in the same category. The Model Y, of course, is not a small car. It has a ton of space, a very roomy feel, and that's a huge difference for some people. It's how you're presented when you're sitting in your car. What do you feel? So with the Model Y, you get that open feeling with the single screen again, and the massive glass roof. You have tons and tons of storage space. So if you're the kind of person who's very adventurous, you're going out a lot, you definitely are going to enjoy having the Model Y. I think the other aspect of the Model Y too is it's a very I guess it depends on how you're looking at the Model Y, but everybody has a different perspective. It is a beautiful vehicle. I really love the way it looks. And so for the everyday usability of the Model Y, I think you're doing really well. With that said, I don't know if I would go with the performance model. I think with going with the performance model, going with the 21-inch rims, I think it may not be your best option. I think you might want to leave those towards more on the performance side, like, the Model S, the Model X. Even on my Model S, I did upgrade to my 21-inch arachnids. For some reason, it's actually better than my 19s, but the Model X, on the other hand, for the 21-inch or the 22-inch, it was not exactly the most fun ride. It was really, really bumpy. With the Model Y, I think it's just an all-around great vehicle. It serves a wonderful purpose. And if that purpose is something that you're looking for, then you have your answer. Asking me if, to do a comparison between the Model X and the Model Y, it's kind of, I have a hard time doing it because they are vastly different vehicles. If you look at the Model Y again, just think about it for a sec. So you have the full glass roof, you have a simplistic interior, you have tons of cargo room, you have basically just one screen running everything. An amazing ventilation system. Those in itself are wonderful, wonderful features to have. Whereas the Model X, on the other hand, has its own advantages. One of the biggest advantages, obviously, with the Model X is you have that wonderful, wonderful sweeping roof, a windshield, I should say. And it is a massive windshield. When you're in the Model X and you have that windshield, it's unbelievable. It really is a different feel for, especially if you're going through the mountains, you're even going through the city, you really get to see so much. The negative aspect of this that I saw, I had a chance to have the vehicle for quite a few times. I reviewed quite a few of the different models that Tesla makes as far as the Model X. And each time with the windshield, the key problem I had is if you're driving into the sun. I think that's the only thing that I had a complaint about, but otherwise it is still one of the most beautiful windshields to have. The self-presenting doors obviously are awesome. I know a lot of people who have it, they actually shut it off. I think, I don't know what specifically. Me personally, whenever I had the Model X, I actually used it. I love going up to the car, door, opens up for you. You get in, you push the brake, door closes. It's a pretty neat feature. But unlike the Model Y, it doesn't have a lot of cargo room. It really doesn't. My Model S actually has more cargo room, usable cargo room, than the Model X. And you don't have that full glass roof. You can't, because with back doors coming up, you have the hinge system in the center. So no big, you don't have the front to back glass roof, but in exchange, you kind of get, the windshield. With that said, you also have, with the Model X, it's a more traditional look. So you have the big screen in the center, and then of course, right behind the steering wheel, you have the secondary screen. Me personally, I am a huge fan of this, and so it kind of depends again on you, because with the Model Y, you have to remember you have one screen, and it's not hard to get used to. I've done the review on the Model 3 as well. I really don't have an issue with it, but I do like to have that second screen behind the steering wheel. And so with the Model X, you'll be able to get that if that's what you're looking for. If that's specifically something that you really, really want, then obviously the Model X, well, it's an obvious choice. One of the other big things I think with the big differences with the Model X and the Model Y is that the Model Y is, because of how much cargo you can use, one of the key reasons you have so much cargo space is because of the way you can fold down the back seats. Whereas the Model X, you cannot do that. It actually stands on a pillar, the Model X seats. It's gorgeous. I love it. It works out just perfectly. But ultimately, the Model X is the Model X. It's a very unique vehicle. It definitely will, people will definitely look at it. People will definitely love, the rear doors going up like beautiful wings. And it's got a few little, Easter eggs and a few little tricks on its own. So if you're looking at, the Model X, you're looking at it not as much for, I guess what I'm trying to say is the Model X is not going to be your favorite car if you're looking truly at cargo, if you're trying to carry a lot of things with it. But if you're looking at, you know, how you present yourself and getting lots of eyes on you and impressing your friends, sure, the Model X by far is gonna be your best choice. But if you're looking for everyday use, if you're looking at having the cargo room, having the ability to just have a vehicle that really is an all-around great vehicle, it just doesn't compare. You know, the Model Y is better priced, obviously. It gives you the ability to just live your life, and so honestly, it really is a no-brainer to me when it comes to usability. The Model X is a great car. I think for people who don't need to carry stuff, you know, you're not a skier, you're not the outdoorsy type, if you will. You're not going to be carrying a bunch of stuff. Even with kids, I think with kids, the Model X is kind of good as long as you have small kids, because it's easier to put them in and out of the car because of the way the doors go up. But the Model X is still a premium car. It's built like it. It's built to be unique. It's not necessarily built to be functional. And I think that's the biggest takeaway from this video, that if anything, you have to look at functionality, right? The Model Y is a much more functional vehicle compared to the Model X. So I hope that helps you. I hope that helps, you know, it answers some of the questions you may have. In a real world, like I said, I'm not going to compare the prices, because if you're looking at both, odds are you can afford both. So yeah, the Model Y is a wonderful, wonderful car. I really do believe that it's going to be the #1 seller for Tesla. I think it's going to be even more so than the Model 3 in maybe the short term. I don't know about the long term, but for sure it's going to be definitely a big impact. It's going to make a huge impact. I think the Model 3 and Model Y are going to be fighting it out with, you know, which one has the biggest demand for it. With that said, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave me a comment. Let me know if which one you would choose and why. I'm very interested to kind of get a feeling for what you guys have to say. Just leave me a comment. I might do a follow-up video based on your comments, which means I'm probably going to be highlighting some of your comments. And let me know where you stand on this, why you would go with either the Model Y or the Model X. And you know, if you did enjoy this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you guys want to see more videos with regards to Teslas. This is basically just a Tesla channel. Sometimes I do cover other electric vehicles. Mostly it's called Summon Tesla for a reason. All right, till the next video, have yourself a wonderful day. Bye bye. Stay safe, everyone.